All right, we're back now with some great entertainment. Jim Henson's fun-loving Fraggles, they're coming to town.
Yeah.
The first ever live touring show based on the beloved franchise is making stop at the Warner Theater in Torrington next Saturday.
I know so many of you love this show growing up, and joining us now is the director, writer, and choreographer for the show, John Tartaglia. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
John, can I just, we're so excited you're here. Can we just talk about, you were a kid and apparently you wrote a letter to Jim Henson and it worked?
Yeah, I became a massive Fraggle Rock fan when I was about 7 or 8 years old. I found it and I was like, what is this amazing, magical show? I'd never seen anything like it before. And I just knew when I saw it, I was like, that's a world I want to be part of. And so I wrote a letter to Jim Henson that was very, honest kid-like, where I basically said, when I'm 18, I'm going to graduate high school. I want to move to New York City and work for the Muppets and work for you. And through a crazy series of events, that's exactly what happened. So I moved to New York City when I was 18. I joined the cast of Sesame Street and have worked for the Jim Henson Company ever since.
Wow, you manifested.
Yeah. John, I'm going to toot your horn. You're a big deal.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, talk to us about some of your other accomplishments.
Well, I've been very, very blessed. I've done 3 Broadway shows. I was in the original cast of Avenue Q on Broadway. Then I did Beauty and the Beast as Lumiere for a while. I was Pinocchio and Shrek the musical. I've had my own Disney Channel series, and I've gotten to now create and develop a bunch of projects for the Jim Henson Company, and I helped bring back Fraggle Rock, and we just won the Emmy Award for Best Family and Children's Series this year on Apple TV+. So it's just been this amazing ride that I feel so lucky to be a part of it.
Congratulations. I love all the amazing accomplishments, and you say this is the show you've been waiting for your whole life. If people don't know what Fraggle Rock is or they haven't experienced it yet, it might be just you were a little too old for it.
I don't know. I gotta be honest, I don't know anything about Fraggle Rock.
Explain what we're gonna experience.
Well, you are never too late to become a Fraggle fan, so you're in luck. So Fraggle Rock has been around since 1982. Jim Henson created it with his colleagues back in the 80s. He wanted to make a show. He was at the top of his game at the time, right? The Muppet Show was the biggest thing in the world. He said, I want to make a show that's going to be for international audiences that literally helps stop war, which is a very lofty thing to say. But he wanted to make a show where these different species were interconnected and didn't realize it, how much they needed each other, how much they needed to depend on each other. And that's what the show is really all about. You have the Fraggles, the main Fraggle 5, Gobo, Red, Moki, Wembley, Boober. I get to play Gobo now, which is incredible. You have the Doozers, who are these little worker creatures who are about 6 inches tall. And then you have the Gorgs, these big, giant, lumbering beasts that kind of, in their mind, rule the world. And it's really about how these 3 different species come together and have to work together to survive. And that's really what the world is about, right? So, but most importantly, it's jam-packed with music and it's funny. And in that wonderful Jim Henson style, you get a little bit of a takeaway, but you're never hit over the head with it. And it's a world that I think we find that everyone from like a 5-year-old to a 95-year-old gets something out of, and I think the best entertainment is when there's something for everybody.
Now you've been on Broadway with as a puppet, right?
Yes.
And
I played the puppet on Broadway. Yes.
Do you ever want to take your mask off and say, "Look, it's me, John"?
You know what? I feel pretty lucky because I get to do a lot as myself as well. And like with Avenue Q, there was the puppet and me together.
Okay.
But there's so wonderful about getting to put on a character and become this wonderful, other creature, and no one knows who you are. There's something kind of wonderful about that too. So I get to kind of escape when I want to behind a puppet, and other times I get to be out there like today talking to you. So it's a nice blend.
I have a quick question for you. We have less than 30 seconds. My daughter is going to be University of Maryland next year, and Kermit the Frog is giving the commencement address. What do you think?
I think it's incredible, and that's where Jim Henson went. Jim Henson went to the University of Maryland. I was actually supposed to go there before I got my job on Sesame Street. I was like ready to go.
Oh my God!
So she's going to the right place. Yeah,
Okay.
That's amazing. I mean, come on, if you can't take a life lesson from Kermit, who can take a life lesson from?
John, we just took a life lesson from you. Have fun and enjoy life and create wonderful things.
Thank you. Hope to see you at the show.
Yeah, terrific. All right, you can catch Fraggle Rock, Back to the Rock, live next Saturday, April 12th at the Warner Theater in Torrington. For more information or to get tickets, please visit warnertheater.org.
That would be
Nice
so
guy.
fun to go to. He's great. Yeah, so multi-talented,
Oh
and I
my
love that he
God.
had this childhood dream, and
It happened.
exactly as he wanted it. That's
It's
amazing.
incredible.